Hey y'all, what's going on? I pray that all is well with y'all on today. Before I get into my message, I want to say happy belated Mother's Day to all of the mothers that I did not get a chance to reach out to and say happy Mother's Day to. Now, let's jump right into it. Today, we're going to talk about what to do when the shift happens. We all know that things in life are bound to happen that are out of our control. Like the thing with COVID was not in any of our control. But it's like, what do you do when things that are not um, in your control happen? How do you adapt to them? Do you play it cool? Do you worry? Or are you working in the midst of the shift? Or are you all three of those? Me personally speaking, I was more so, I wasn't worried. I just wanted to understand what was going on with the COVID thing. Um, wasn't worried at all. I was cool, and God just said, "This is your working season." So ever since we've been in this situation, I've been working on things that He has told me to give birth to, and what we have to realize as when a shift happens, we control honestly how that shift affect us. We can either worry, we can either work, or um, we could be cool, or we could be all of those things, because you are going to go through different emotions when a shift happens. But the thing we have to do is realize that a shift is always going to happen. What in any stage of life, just like season changes, shift changes, and we have to be able to adapt to the shift. Even if we don't understand it, allow yourself to feel the emotions, but don't let it overtake you to the point where you're worrying, where you're so fearful that you can't function. We all are fearful of things we don't understand, granted, but don't let it get you so fearful to the place where you can't function. Let's take Job for an instance. Job, listen, my friend Job, he went through, honey. Do you hear me? Okay, he lost everything he had. His friends was talking about him. He got bulls and everything else. But one thing that never changed about Job, even through all of his shift changes, was his faith. No matter what shift or season he was in, he stayed focused and tuned in to God. So what I am encouraging you all to do today, no matter what state you are in, adjusting to a shift, whether you're playing it cool, whether you're worrying, or whether you're working, whatever state you're in your shift, give it to God, because God can carry you through each shift, each season change, but you have to let Him. You can't go through the shift thinking you got it all together and you don't. Because when you got it all together and you try to put your hands in it, then things happen that make you worry, that make you fearful. Whereas when you can go into a shift change, already knowing that a shift is going to happen regardless, but if you go into that shift change with God, it will make going through the shift easier. Each thing that we go through, it should not, and I say this all the time, it should not break us, but it should teach us a lesson. Um, this thing with COVID is teaching all of us different lessons. It's teaching us not to take things for granted. It's teaching us to be grateful. It's just reminding us of the simple things that God always wants us to know, that He is with us no matter what. But what we have to remember is that a shift is always going to happen. But the way we need to get through the shift, whatever stage of the shift is with God, because everything is easier with God. I'm not saying you won't go through it, but it will be easier with God. If you're in a shift right now during this thing and he's telling you to sit and be quiet, do that. If he's telling you to work, do that. If he's telling you to spend time with yourself, do that. Whatever he's telling you to do during this shift change, do it. Because all it's going to do is make you better when you come out. Don't look at a shift as something that is going to break you for the worse. A shift is going to break you for the better because it's going to get rid of things that you need to get rid of to build you up for the next shift that is going to happen. So I'm just encouraging you all, no matter what stage you're in your shift, give it to God. Keep pushing, keep praising, keep fighting, and keep worshiping.